Thank you for joining us today for Chesapeake Awareness Week. And today and the first week of June, we urge all residents to recognize the importance of the Chesapeake Bay to our economy and environment, and to engage in activities that will help preserve and sustain our county's watersheds and the Chesapeake Bay. As we do so this coming week, we need to also recognize the first and longest caregivers of the Bay. The word Chesapeake derives from the Algonquin Native American word, and we recognize that many of the tributaries are also named after the indigenous people who lived on and near the bay and continue to be its caretakers. And today, as we recognize those original caretakers, we acknowledge our own responsibility to protect and care for the bay. The actions we take to mitigate stormwater, erosion, and flooding throughout our area have a direct effect on the health of the bay. What we do here affects our regional neighbors, also in Prince George's, DC, and Southern Maryland. And I want to thank the environmentalists and residents who work to protect and preserve the bay. And we recognize how much more work we have yet to do for the bay. And now I will turn it over to our Council President, Evan Glass, and Chair of the Transportation and Environment Committee.
Well, thank you very much, Councilmember Stewart. It's wonderful to have the T&E committee here together, showing solidarity and support for the Bay and having our incredible advocates as well. The Chesapeake Bay are the lungs, or is the lungs of our region. And everything that we do affects the Bay, which is why all of our water restoration work and our runoff work and everything else that we really do literally trickles down into the Bay. And that's why it is so important. And this is a collective effort, and our environmental stewards and champions continue pushing us in the right direction. And, you know, I'd be remiss if I did not thank also Senator Ben Cardin, who has made this his life work as well. And from his perch on Capitol Hill, he has funneled so much money into the Bay to help clean it up, and it has proven very beneficial and successful. So thank you, Senator Cardin. Next, Councilmember Balcombe.
Thank you. I think this is a great intersection of the T and the E portion from the Chesapeake Bay. It's a very important waterway for transportation, but and the economy, but so important for our environment. We need to make sure that we continue to do what we can to mitigate the impact. And I'm so pleased to have our environmental partners here today who are doing a very important work, and we want to be partners in that. So thank you.
And I also want to recognize that we've been joined by Landrum Beard of the Rock Creek Conservancy. Thank you this morning for joining us. And now we'll read the proclamation. I'll ask my colleagues to come up. And Council President Glass, do you want to start?
Okay. The County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland proclamation. Whereas the Chesapeake Bay is the largest and most productive estuary in the United States, spanning across Maryland, Delaware, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, and the District of Columbia, and serves as a vital environmental, recreational, and economic resource to approximately 18 million people living within its watershed. And
whereas the Chesapeake Bay produces more than 400 million pounds of seafood harvest each year, with its watershed serving as home to more than 76,000 farms that contribute more than $6.8 billion to the region's economy and food to millions of Americans. And whereas
all 1,500 miles of streams in Montgomery County flow into the Bay, and joint efforts by Indigenous peoples, local government, businesses, nonprofits, and residents of Montgomery County have resulted in a comprehensive approach utilizing green, innovative practices that reduce the pollutants in local streams and rivers and help restore the Chesapeake Bay. And
whereas Montgomery County, joining other local jurisdictions and organizations, has annually commemorated the first week of June as Chesapeake Bay Awareness Week, with events and programming designed to mark the progress and educate residents on the need to continue efforts critical for the protection and restoration of the Chesapeake Bay. Bring us home.
Now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby proclaims June 3rd to the 11th, 2023 as Chesapeake Bay Awareness Week, and the Montgomery County Council urges all residents to recognize the importance of the Chesapeake Bay to our economy and environment, and to engage in activities that will help preserve and sustain our county watersheds and the Chesapeake Bay. Presented on this day, the 25th of May in the year 2023, signed by myself, Council President Evan Glass, and Council Member Marilyn Balcombe. Thank you.